So guys, welcome to the channel. You don't know. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Once you like the content, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. You know that works. Anyway, we're gonna embark on a video with Fred Membe. He's the head of the Socialist Party of Zambia, and this guy, he's very knowledgeable about the West and about history and about Africa on a whole. And he gave this brilliant interview. It's not a full interview. I will put the full interview link in the description for you to go and watch it. It's like 25 minutes long, but I take out some of the important parts that I think you need to hear and cut it down to like 4 or 5 minutes. So watch this in its entirety, and then we'll discuss it after. Boom.
Why they are worried about like a country like China? Because China is working in the opposite direction to them. China is working to free other people and free itself from being plundered, from being humiliated. This is the country that has, the USA is a country that has thrived, survived, prospered from slave trade, cross-Atlantic slave trade. They enslaved the Africans for centuries. They plundered the resources of Latin America, the resources of Africa, the resources of Asia. They plundered even the resources of Europe. This is the country, if plunder today, exploitation of other people is removed, the USA will not be the powerful country that it is today. If there's equality in the dealings with each other, the USA ceases because it doesn't know how to deal with other people on an equal basis, with other nations on an equal basis. It gets lost. It's worried today with the multipolar world that is emerging because its hegemonic interests are being threatened. It's not China per se, it's the interests of the Americans that are being threatened with a world that is more equal, that is more fair, that is more just. They can't survive in that world because their methods of existence are based on plundering other nations, on humiliating other nations, on exploiting other nations. The United States, because it prospers from conflict. It sets one humble nation against the other. It does not help to remove conflicts. It always creates conflicts. When you look at the conflicts that have existed in the world since 1776, when the USA was formed, the USA usually has a hand in it. When it doesn't have a hand in it, it doesn't work to resolve those conflicts. It works to perpetuate those conflicts because it thrives from conflict. It benefits from conflicts. When the world is divided, it becomes easier to exploit. It becomes easier to plunder. A united people cannot be plundered. A united people cannot be exploited. A united people cannot be made to fight each other and prosper. This is the country that benefits from wars. It prospers from wars. It creates wars as a business to make profits from. It makes profits from wars. Yes, and they are also linked to the media. They are linked to the politics. They are the sponsors of the politicians. So they have to find conflict all the time. If no conflict arises naturally, they create it so that their industries make more and more money. That the USA waves all the time is hypocritical. This is the country that has invaded other countries, killing so many people, including children. This is the country that has appropriated the resources of other countries, leaving those countries helpless. Look at Iraq today. 20th anniversary. What is happening to the Iraqi oil money? When Iraq sells oil, all the money goes to the USA. It's the USA government that decides how much to give to the Iraqi government to use. The Iraqi government has to submit a budget to the USA to get its own money after 20 years of that conflict. Is Iraq independent?
So here you see where the member is speaking of how America operates, why and how they become a global power by plundering Africa, Asia, Europe, causing conflicts, instigating conflicts, because a country divided will lose its resources, and that's what he's saying. And if there's no conflict, they create conflicts. That's like what they, as he said, they did in Iraq. I didn't even know Iraq was like basically a colonized state right now, because imagine after 20 years of invading Iraq unlawfully, and then they in turn said that it was a mistake, and then they still collecting all the money from the oil, and they have to approve Iraq budget. So it's like you have a child, and you tell the child, go to work, bring all the money, come give me, and then I have to take the money from you, I give you back a percentage of it. And then you have to use it to do certain things, and you have to do what I tell you to do with it. That's basically how Africa, this is basically how America is treating Iraq currently. And yet, this is a country that preached democracy. And they literally take over a country, take away the resources, and what's what I'm looking for? And basically telling them what to do, when, how, and why. But yet they want to come to Africa and tell us about democracy. You can believe that. And as he said in the video, China never colonized no country. I'm not saying they don't take advantages of countries of deals. Sometimes they do, but it's not an overwhelming. It's not an overwhelming thing they do. So I just say that when you sign deals with the Chinese, read the contract correctly. Make sure you have all the T's crossed, all the I's dotted, because multiple countries in Africa is doing this right now, and they are paying back China and doing more deals. That's why everyone is running to Africa right now to do deals with Africa, because it's developing and it's a rising economy. So I agree 100% with Fred Membe of Zambia, and as I tell you, I hope one day he becomes the president of said country. I don't know much about the current president, because I never really look into him that much, but from what Membe is saying, I really hope Zambians give him a chance, because he's talking unity. Because I said, a country divided, that's what America want. They want it to divide, They want countries to war with each other, and then they come in and take all the resources and then plunder and then go back to the States, and then that's how that works. That's why recently there's an issue going on right now in the Congo, and that's why I was disappointed in the president of the democratically, the DRC, which is the Democratically Republic Congo. He went to France for aid with the war against with the issue they have with Rwanda. I didn't like that. He should have gone to the African Union instead than go to Europe to come help you with Rwanda. And he knew that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Somalia just kicked the French out, tell them to leave with the army, because they're causing division and creating instability inside the country, right? So how is it you're going to in turn invite the French to you? That makes no sense to me. That's why I didn't like that with the president. That was very disappointing. If you have an issue with the next African country, go to the African Union or go to a next country and then tell them to help you with this situation right here. And that is what the French still use by dividing. Because if they put a wedge between Rwanda and DRC, it's going to cause them to gain a foothold inside countries and for the resources. And I hope he revoke this and don't go through with it. Anyway, as I said, thanks for watching. You don't know, it's the WSXN podcast as always. Tell a friend. You don't know how this works, so anyway. Peace, one love. Boom.